What's up, everybody? Chris Scott here. I am with Warriors of Wrestling's own T.K. Luther, real name Sam Giambrone. What up?
What up, man? It's fun to be here.
I just hung out with you guys at your wrestling practice.
Okay.
First time I actually stayed there for an entire time. It was good. It was pretty cool. You guys are tight. Worked some drills. And I'm very interested to get to know more about you, the character, and how you got into wrestling, and what is the future of T.K. Luther. I know you've gone through some character changes, and you have a very specific character that is well over in the Warrior Nation crowd right now. And I know you've worked very hard, so I'm very excited to get into the depths of how you came up with this ridiculous character, T.K. Luther the Fifth, the Cookie Pimp.
Okay.
Or is it the Cookie Pimp T.K. Luther the Fifth?
It's the Notorious Cookie Pimp T.K. Luther.
I forgot another one. Okay, so the Notorious Cookie Pimp T.K. Luther the Fifth.
That's not the fifth anymore.
It's just dropped off. It's just gone.
I mean, it's with the characters I split from my family because, with the gimmick changes was when I first started, I was a rich kid. Then the second month I was a god. The third month I became a king. The fourth month, I read Superior Iron Man for the first time, and I was like, I want to be superior. So I was superior. Then I guess I dyed my hair blue and went crazy.
Okay.
And then I shaved my head and became another character. And then I became the Vulture. And, at first it sounds cool, right? Don't get too excited, because the only reason why I became the Vulture... So Spider-Man Homecoming was coming out.
Okay.
And I saw Michael Keaton as the Vulture. And I go, I think this is where I want to go. Like, my designs that I have in like my room for the Vulture, I literally was going to get the wingsuit he has, the wings.
Yeah.
I was going to get those made.
Okay.
So I could come out with those wingsuits made.
Okay.
And like, at that point, it was like everyone's asking me, like, what are you doing? Like, I think what happened was that I was trying to be this serious character, like trying to act serious. And I kid you not.
You're not serious, though.
I kid you not. In the middle of a match, I went like this. I went as the Vulture. And then I was told, if you ever do that again... I will break your hands, and I will break your arms, and you'll never be able to do that again. Because I thought I was like, let me be a bird, and it was like you didn't look like a vulture. You looked like a seagull, like trying to be all big and stuff. And then I guess I hit a point where I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I want to be the serious guy because I'm watching on TV all these serious people, and then be surprised. So. We have this group chat, and at one point we were throwing nicknames around, and the Tokyo Pimp from New Japan came up, and then I don't remember who it was, but they put me as the Cookie Pimp, and then just out of nowhere, that was the light bulb that went off in everyone's minds, like, yep, that's you. Yep, you got to do this now. And I was like, at first I was like, why? Because like I wanted to be this serious like wrestler, but like I mean, look at my body, look at me. There was one show I wrestled. I wrestled Frankie Getz. Maybe rest in peace, brother. But I wrestled him. I took my shirt off, and everybody started pointing and laughing at me and booing at me.
Damn.
And I'm just like, what? Well, come on, like I'm trying to be this serious guy. Like I was like, what is happening? And then like ever since that, everybody's telling me that's it. That's all you did, and the people hated you. Use that. So ever since then. As I was using the character, I didn't fully discover the character until now, to be honest with you. Like when I came back to Warriors, I left for a while, and as you said, you saw a lot of stuff at training school. This is the place to be. Mm-hmm. The grass is not always greener on the other side, and I learned that the hard way. Uh-huh. But Warriors is the place to be. Like get your training in, get the proper training. Don't just go out there thinking that you can do everything and you can't. Mm-hmm. Always get the proper training. But I came back, and it's like just like recently, I'd finally discovered the Pimp. Like, I'm just being myself, but 20 times, the limit, and that's not possible. Like,
and you're a face too. You're not even a heel anymore.
Right, I'm a face, and I didn't think it was gonna work at first. When I came back, I was like, these people hated me. Like, I used to take my shirt off and pretend I was skinny, and I'm not. and these people hated me. But as soon as I came back and I went out that curtain, they were all cheering for me because it's been so long since I've seen it. I was like, and it was just natural since then. As you know, I've been in some great matches as of late. Anthony Green, I did
Sean Donovan, Dan Moff.
Woof. Man, that was a battle. You were there
with Biggie Biggs. Yep, I called the action.
You were there, and you all were laughing as I'm getting my.
I'm laughing at your reaction to it, just
because you saw them chopping each other, and I just stare right at you like, help. But man, those matches that I've had were a learning experience. Like honestly, that gave me more confidence of like, hey, I like this character. I like what I'm doing with this character, and now I could fully be this character. Like I'm not afraid to be the pimp anymore. Like at first, it was hesitant. Like, I don't really want to do comedy. I want to be the serious person. But then once I realized, hey, we have serious wrestlers. We have the serious guys, and now we have like people like me, gimmicks, comedy guys, like
that are over too.
Yeah, like if every show I've noticed, like I'm the comedic relief. We could have a match before that's all serious and stuff, and then everybody when I come out, they're all laughing with me. They used to be laughing at me, but now it's like, but that's what you want. Like that reaction alone, if it comes naturally, that's it. You won. Like that reaction with me every time I come out there is natural. And like it's real.
It's at the end of the day, wrestling. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
And your character is an entertaining part of the show, and your character is unlike any other character out there. Yeah. It's so obscure. It's so different. It's so ridiculous, and you own it. You own it on social media. You put your videos out there. I see them. We actually shot a couple when we did the Jericho Cruise. It was a lot of fun. And even the people that didn't know us, they were like, "Yeah, it's great."
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's entertaining. I think it's a nice part of the show. But what do you think the future is for the character? Is it like there's plenty of times where you see like these gimmick type of characters where they reach a peak, and then it's like, all right, I'm kind of over this cookie pimp thing.
I mean, to be honest with like that kind of stuff, I'm just trying to see, like I'm taking it wherever it takes me. Like I'm just going with the waves. Like
love it. Live in the moment.
Like I'm, everyone has their goal. Like, hey, I want to go to WWE. I want to go to this place. With me, it's just I'm gonna go, wherever the wind takes me. Like my goal actually is Lucha Underground.
Okay.
Like that's my goal. Like I feel like.
Why is that your goal as opposed to WWE?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if WWE were to show up here tomorrow and look at me and be like, "Hey, I want you to come to the performance center," I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Gone,
I'm not gonna say no. Like,
you can't.
You got to take any opportunity you can. That's like if New Japan came to your door and was like, "Hey, we need you," and you're like, "I want to go to Lucha Underground." Always get your foot in the door somewhere.
But what is it about Lucha Underground specifically that attracts you to it?
I feel like with Lucha Underground, I've seen the matches, but also the product that they have.
Okay.
Like they have all these, and not really promos. They're just like if you're watching a TV show, it's like you're watching an actual show. Like they do scenes. Like I saw a scene with what was it? Literally, recently, I saw a scene where Dario Cueto was resurrected from death. Like that's the kind of stuff. Like I feel like my character would, flourish. Like for example, like this is one of the people I've wanted to wrestle for a lifetime now, ever since I started. Paul London. He's there as the Rabbit Tribe leader. He's there doing like a crazy like Alice in Wonderland thing. And then like in my head, I'm like, imagine picturing the Cookie Pimp in that scenario. Like the production that they could do with it. Like literally the background could be a swirling image of like cookies falling like meteors. And I'm just sitting on TV laughing at you. Like that's like the kind of production like I want to go all out. Like, right now, it's I'm here. It's like I have so many ideas, but it's like, it's not like TV wise. Like TV, you're on every week.
What about like, we see the Young Bucks. They have their own YouTube channel. They have Being the Elite with all those guys. You have Matt Hardy really used leverage with YouTube and social media to get his character over, and it exploded into this wonderful thing. It was absolutely crazy. Woken, broken, whatever the hell it is. And you see the New Day and Bray Wyatt, they kind of incorporated a final. They had the deletion stuff going on. The final deletion they did too. You think like Matt Hardy and WWE, they kind of bought into what Lucha Underground was doing with those little cutscenes like that? Do you think it has anything to do with that at all?
I mean, I don't think so. Like with
No.
Matt Hardy's thing, it started like it took him a while. I felt like watching him on TV, like when he started doing the broken stuff on TNA or Impact.
Took him a while to get into it.
It took him a while to get into it, but then he finally, I guess, hit that peak where it was like, I know what I'm doing. So that's, for example, with me, like I just found the Cookie Pimp stuff, and now I'm doing a series on YouTube.
Good. I was going to ask you, like, are you going to think about doing that?
I'm doing a series on YouTube of the character away from wrestling.
Okay.
But it's wild. Like the things me and my filmmaker, his name's David Grace, him and I are coming up with some wild stuff, and it's gonna be hysterical. It's gonna be dramatical. It's just gonna have everything.
I look forward to it. I look forward to watching it. Yeah.
Like it's gonna be hard filming myself in 2 different places at once. It's gonna be amazing, but I don't want to spoil anything. But it's gonna be like.
When do you expect that stuff to be out there?
The first episode should hopefully be airing in the beginning of December or the end of this month.
Okay.
Yeah, the first episode for that, and then we're just gonna go from there. And
is it gonna be like a weekly thing, or
it's like a weekly, bi-weekly? It's it's
small segments
leading into something big. That kind.
Okay, so it builds up. All right.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that a lot.
We what else? Oh, next year the hopeful plan is, well, creative content wise, I'm trying to get myself a championship made. It's gonna be called the Pimp's belt. It's gonna be defended 24 hours a day. Anybody could go for it. Anybody.
This is something that's actually happening.
Yeah, anybody could go for it, anywhere, anytime, any place. Like, it's just the creative content that I have in my head. I want someone to show up to my house.
And this is a belt that you plan on defending at other promotions, not just here.
Yeah, this is the same thing. Like, it's this stuff, like it's just gonna have fun with it. Like, creative content. I feel like when you have creative content, like when you put something every single day, people start tuning in. Like, oh, well, who is this guy?
Okay.
Like, who is it? Like, this is funny. Like, just imagine, like, I'm sitting in my house, bathrobe, person comes to challenge me. I'm like, oh, okay, take the bathrobe. I'm already in gear, ready to go. Like, it's the kind of fun. It's the kind of fun that I want to have, like, just in general with wrestling. Like, that's the goal. Like, that's my goal. There's a cameo just now.
A cameo just off camera.
Like Joe, off-camera cameo.
Joe Bellini just came walking back here, so we were doing.
An off-camera cameo.
But
wondering what we were talking about. Oh, there he is.
There he is again. No one could see him. All right, so it sounds like you're hungry. You have like a lot of plans. You're really over in the crowd right now.
I also, real quick, I gotta thank him because I went to Ventura for 6 months away from Warriors, and it was like a built up frustration of like, oh well, I'm not doing something I want to do, and like I just left, and I was like, well, let me try going out there, like to see what I could do. It didn't go well at all. I was wrestling people. Like, don't get me wrong, I was wrestling some, decent people, but it wasn't like the same feeling as like here. Like this is essentially my home. Warriors is my home. I had people like Chris Romano when I was away messaging me. He's like, "When are you coming back?" I go, "I don't know." He goes, "You're gonna come back. Just come back now." I was like, "Well, not yet." He goes, "I think you should come back now." And then I came back. And then as the first person that sees me is him. He's like, "Yeah. I knew you'd be back. I knew you'd be back." And it's just ever since then, it's like it's.
Romano had some good things to say about the TK Luther character, by the way.
Oh, I love.
Listen to that podcast, by the way.
Yeah,
it's on YouTube.
Romano's the man. He's
the man, and if you watch the interview, you'll say why.
Yeah, he's the man. He's honestly one of those people that like you could always talk to and just always have a conversation with, and he's always there. Like he's one of those people. Like this whole place has just people that are like that. Like everyone treats each other as family, and that's what you like. Because I was in places where people would just like look at me like, "No, who's this guy?" Like, and it was like it's that awkward feeling. And then I had a match a while ago that I was like, "Man, I need to come back home." Like this is horrible.
Talk to me about that exact moment where you were outside of Warriors and you came to that realization, I need to go back. Well, give me that moment.
I feel it was. I don't remember whether I'm not gonna give locations or anything. I don't want to be that person.
You don't want it's fine.
I did the match, and at first I wasn't even on the card. Like I told him like I wanted to be on the card, and it was at first said yes that I was, and then I got there. I'm there all day. The promoter sees me there all day, and then we're setting up. We finish everything, and I'm getting my gear on, and then I look at the run sheet. My name's not even there. So I'm like, well, oh God, excuse me.
How far did you travel to this promotion, by the way?
I live on Staten Island. It was a far travel.
Far travel.
Yeah, it was a far travel, and I was like, well, I said that I was, I told the other person that I wanted to be booked, and then
And they said you were going to be on the show. You get
is
there, and
yeah,
you're not on the show.
because
Okay.
the person that told the promoter that I was going to be there wasn't there. He had another booking, so then he was just like, just get there, get your gear on, you'll be all set. Your name will be on the run sheet, and it wasn't on the run sheet, and I'm like, well, I didn't travel this far for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my way into a match. I don't remember how. Like I just like somebody threw out a match, and I was like, yeah, definitely, I'll be there. And then it was like the match was like I was miserable. You could tell if you watched the match, like I was miserable. Like you could see my face was miserable. And then at the finish of the match, when I took the pin. Like I don't care about wins and losses, but you could see like I was like, man, this isn't for me. And then I didn't get paid. Like I was just working for free. So it's like I traveled from point A to point B, used my own money, and then I walked away with not a dollar in me. Not like, yeah, he has $10 for gas or he has $10 for food right after the show. Do something, and I was just like, this is miserable. Like I wanna come back. So then I asked, and then I talked to Joe, and he was like, yeah, welcome back. Like I was like, okay, and now look where I am. I'm literally having these matches with, like people like Anthony Green, who's just in Ring of Honor, Dan Moffat, Sean Donovan. Like these are big matches I'm having. Like
Now, for the December 1st show, the 11th anniversary show, where's your position on the card? Are you involved in the Battle Royal?
yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm involved in the Battle Royal.
The Frankie Getz.
Yep.
The Frankie Getz Battle Memorial.
Yeah, it's a little emotional for me because I wasn't here when he passed away.
Yeah.
I was that's when I was away, so I wasn't here for that. So I'm in that. It's gonna be fun. I plan on making it fun. Like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun. And that's the thing. Every opportunity that you get, you should cherish.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what you're here for. I don't care if it's a battle royal. I don't care if it's a pre-show. I don't care if it's this, that, or the third. You're here because you want this. Look at a guy like Slade. Slade came in, busted his ass in the training center he was almost there every single day.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the pre-show, and look where he is now. He just debuted on the main show last week.
Powerhouse, impressive performance.
Powerhouse, impressive. He's gonna be in the show in the Battle Royal, which is gonna be, he's a big dude. He's like a locomotive, and I'm like, huh.
For a Battle Royal, he's got to be a favorite to win, being so
yeah,
big, and he could just throw people out, no problem.
right. Like that's gonna be a challenge. But look at him. Like he came in, paid his dues, always came in to help a ring crew, always came in to do like setup, and that's something that other people should see. Like, hey, I'm a student here. I want to be in this level. Like, if you're a student and you're not wanting to be in that level, then you shouldn't be doing this. Like, Stone Cold says it. He's like, if you don't want a championship, then you shouldn't be working here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of wrestlers that say that. It's like, hey, if you don't come in, pay your dues, do ring crew, do this stuff, then why you're not? Wrestling doesn't, give you anything. Like it doesn't owe you anything. Like you owe it everything. Like that's what you're here for. I remember when I first started, I was one of the few lucky ones. Like I showed when I was training, I came in every time and I was showing my personality. So, Joe saw that and was like, you know what? I want you as a manager. I want you to manage these guys on the pre-show. We'll see where it goes from there. So I showed him that, and then boom, I was a manager. I was a manager for a while on the pre-shows. For one of the Ultimate Survivals, I was the manager. I didn't get in the ring or anything. I was a manager, but like that was the debut on the main show. Like this crowd knew who I was. They were booing me, and it's like I'm just managing 2 people. Then I had my first match, and then we just went from there. And like it came to the point that I was a tag champ. I won the tag team.
With the LW estate with
Isaiah Wolf.
With Isaiah Wolf,
Yeah.
right?
We became tag champs because we were I remember when he first came in. I remember when Isaiah first came in, and
You guys were heels then.
yeah, he first came in, and Joe was like, "Well, I see this as a tag team. Show me what you got in the ring, like in training, just a regular training day." We showed that it was character, seriousness, and it was that balance that Joe was like, "Okay, this is what I want to see. Like, show it to me," and then we did, and then we became tag champs. Like that was something that was a big experience. Like we went up against Warlord and Barbarian, Like, that was a match. And it's funny because I made those guys laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I made them laugh in that match. Like, there's one point, Barbarian chopped me in the corner. No, it wasn't that. It was Warlord gave me a short arm clothesline, and then I sold like this in the ring. And because I screamed and then just went, and then he looked at me, he looks at Jack, the ref, he goes, "That's pretty funny." And then grabs me up. It was just, that was another surreal match. Like, that was a fun match.
Mm-hmm.
I got to wrestle with the likes of Curtis Hughes in my corner. Funny story about that. So we're in Brooklyn, and he's cutting a promo on the crowd, and he says something very offensive. He said something like, I'm gonna separate the words. He used porch and monkeys. So when he did that, everyone's going like this. You see me going, yeah, and then I see nobody clapping. Everybody's gasping. I look at Isaiah. I'm like, what does that mean? And like,
oh no,
you could see my eyes through the shades going, what does that mean? And of course he goes, don't worry about it, just keep clapping. So I just start clapping again. And then after the match, when I found out, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, you let me clap through that. And then he's like, yeah, because it was funny. I'm like, what do you mean? It's funny. But like, it's just those moments, like, here, it's just, that's what makes everything. Like, to me, like, those are the moments, like, that I'm just like, wow. Like,
it's fun to go to work.
It's fun to go to work. Like,
it's always good when you
it's
do
like
that.
my shoot job. It's fun to go to work. Like, it's all fun. Like, I'm living, like the song says, I'm living my best life. I am living my best life. Like, this is legit.
You do look like you're having a lot of fun out there in the ring. What are some influences on the Cookie Pimp and the stuff that you come up with, your thought process of how to incorporate, the go to eat, which is pop-up belly attack, things like that?
I think the go to eat came out of nowhere. Like, I don't remember who said it, but it was like a pop-up and use your gut, and I did. And then what happened was, it happened in the match I had at the Warriors taping, and then one of the wrestling pages out there shared the clip and gave it the name. They were like, look at this. I think I want to call it the go to eat.
So someone else gave it the name.
Someone on a I don't remember what wrestling page it was, gave it the name because they were like, you thought you saw the GTS. Well, man, here's the go to eat. And I'm like, well, this is great. I was I messaged the admin. I was like, thank you, because you essentially gave me my move. Like, you gave me the go to eat. Like, it's just the pop-up belly. It was supposed to be the double stuff. But then they came up with the name. I think that move came at training. I was a Thursday. I was here. It came up at training. A lot of moves came up. When I put the hand under the stomach, the hot pocket.
Oh, God, that move.
That came up at training, too.
Oh.
But it's like, it's little things. Like, I saw Marty Scurll doing the finger snap. And I go, well, I have this. Let me see if I could do it.
I have this. It's not going away. Let me use it.
I just feel so bad for people's hands because I drape my stomach over them. I see them go. And I'm like, I just look at their eyes. I'm like, this will end soon. Don't worry about it.
This too shall pass.
It'll pass. Don't worry about it. It's warm now. But it'll be fine.
Just thinking about it. Oh.
The chocolate rainmaker, which is just, oh God, it's a rainmaker, but you hit the stomach. And it's like, the character-wise, like, to be honest, I looked up at one of my favorite people, Paul London, doing the Rabbit Tribe stuff, and I'm like, man, this is, like, I can incorporate, like, little things. I'm not going to be just like him, but I can incorporate this here and there. Like, I just find watching old matches, like, people like Junkyard Dog, Dusty Rhodes, I'm like, these little things I could put. I have notes. I write down notes ever since we went on the cruise. Like, I was writing notes. I'm like, well,
with your VHS tape journal.
Let's not go into that.
It's a Hercules VHS case. It's a journal. It's not a Hercules VHS. By the way, great movie.
I love how you have to call me out on it. But like, I'm just writing stuff down. I'm like, man, I could use this, and this. Even though Darius Carter wants to start trouble between me and Paul London, because there was one time when I just first introduced a Cookie Pimp. It was for a student show. And I take a picture of it and put it on Twitter. Who's the first person he tags? Paul London. He goes, Isn't that like you? And Paul London liked the tweet. I'm like, stop. Stop. Don't get me in hot water with someone I want. That's one of my dream matches, by the way.
You and Paul London?
Me and Paul London. That's one of my dream matches. My other dream match is me and David Arquette. Because I've seen him wrestling now. And I'm like, the amount of stuff we could do that'll just be funny.
Isn't David Arquette a world champion?
He is. And, like, come on, like, like, the stuff I could do. And then another match is Joey Ryan. He has the
It's so interesting. Like, you're naming all these guys, and there's Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, there's Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar. You're naming those guys.
because Joey Ryan literally has a mansion out of what he does. Like, he literally said it. I bought a house with what I do, and he has the dong style. Like, just imagine that match, the Cookie Pimp with the invincible stomach versus Joey Ryan with the invincible dong. Like, it's again, like, that's the goal. Like, he bought a house with what he did. Like, that's my goal, being over the top and like at one point saying I bought a house because I pimped cookies. And you know the amount of promos I'd film in a mansion? I'd slide down the stairs. Like, it's when I saw that was a motivation. I was like, this man found a gimmick, and people were doubting it. I heard people doubting on Twitter. I heard people that like, oh, this is killing wrestling, or oh, this is doing that. He's having fun. Like, that's a guy that's having fun. I remember
Definitely not killing wrestling. Wrestling's all like, there's the serious guys in wrestling, as you said before, but this is the conclusion that I've come to recently. The people who love wrestling, besides children, are people that know not to take it so seriously and have fun with it. It's an escape. It's sports entertainment. The serious matches you watch, and there's the dramatic moments where AJ Styles is flying off the top rope and he hits it, and he's the world champion. Then there's those entertaining moments where like Rikishi comes out and is dancing with Scotty 2 Hotty and all that, or TK Luther, the Cookie Pimp, is doing some shit in the ring. It's great.
The Hot Pocket.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I had this was an actual moment that touched me. I was at Five Guys eating randomly, like I was just having a meal, and someone comes up to me and he goes, "You're that guy on YouTube." I looked around, I was like, "Who are you talking to?" Like, I was having a burger and everything. I had the burger in my mouth too. I gave him that weird pause, and I was like, "Me?" And he goes, "Yeah, you're the Cookie Pimp guy." And I go, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Listen, dude, I've been depressed for like a while now, and I watched your match, and I started laughing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, that's a goal. To have someone come up to me randomly and say you're that guy, and like I'm feeling better watching your stuff. That's a major goal. Like, honestly, that's something surreal. Like, just the Cookie Pimp in general. Like, when it came up, I feel bad for my parents because the things I buy on Amazon, they're like." I remember my dad opened a box once, and it was I ordered 19 boxes of Oreo O's, and he opened the box. He goes, he looked around in the kitchen, saw me in the living room, and just goes, what? Like, and I go, yeah, I bought that. He goes, you used my Amazon card to buy this? And I go, yeah. He goes, just give me a box. Like, he literally just like, just give me a box. And then he's just like, my parents have like seen it all. Like, they've seen my ups, my downs. Like,
and they've been supportive all the way through.
Yeah, they don't come to shows because they're feared for their lives watching me like getting thrown around. Like, they have that fear. They also fear for their lives when they see me do the dumb stuff I do, like the Hot Pocket, and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
I remember the first time.
That's gotta be tough.
When they first came to a match, I was a heel, and I won the match. It was my first ever match. And I got out of the ring, and I just see my dad go like this for a high five. I'm like, Dad, I can't. Like, he's like, give me the high five. And I go, okay. High five him. I go, that's my daddy. And, like, of course, he got heat because, like, he was like, he came up to me, he goes, someone was like, why did you give birth to that? And I was like, oh, my Lord. I was like, oh, my Lord. These people hate.
Oh wow, the Warrior Nation is savage. Wow,
these people hated my guts. Like,
wow,
these people hated my guts. Like, people like in that crowd hated me. I've gotten the middle finger, especially when I started saying that women's place is in the kitchen, not in the wrestling ring. Woof. I did a post like that because I was in a match of King of New York. It was Nikki Adams, Cannonball, and Logan Black.
Okay.
So I kept getting at Nikki Adams. I found 1920s commercials where it was like, it was like a woman in the kitchen and like etiquette of how a woman should be. And at the end it goes, a good woman always knows her place. And like, I put that out, and I kid you not, a feminist group.
Oh.
A feminist group.
Ooh, you don't want to enrage them.
a feminist group messaged me,
Okay.
and they were like, you're using your hashtags out of character. This too. Here's the thing. I didn't know what the Me Too hashtag Me Too was,
Oh,
and
another one.
yeah, I didn't know what it was.
No, no. 'Cause the thing is that like I've talked to multiple people and they didn't know what the Me Too movement was either at first, so they were using it the wrong way.
Here's the thing. I thought it was just like, hey, they did it. I did it too. Like that was what I thought it was. That feminist group, when they saw that, they like messaged me and everything, and they were like, this is wrong. Like you shouldn't be doing this. Blah blah blah. They gave me like this whole moral speech, and I just messaged back, I'm still gonna do it. And then I put
what a heel.
and then I put another promo out of the same exact thing, and was just like, well, Nikki Adams, you know your place, get cooking. And like that was me as a heel. Like that was me like investing in who I was, and people were hating me. Like, and then when I came back, it was like the Thanos finger snap. It was all gone, because I was in the mall one day, and like this couple who are my friends now, they go, I know who you are, and I go, they pulled up a video of me being a heel,
Okay.
going up to their kid because the kid was on the guard, and I go, get off. And the kid got so scared that he got off and sat down. And the father was like, I want to know who the hell is talking to my son like that. And now they love me. Like, it's again, wrestling is just having fun. Like, I feel like it's just that thing. It's having fun, but also remembering that this is your dream. This is your life. You need to earn it. Like, you can't just sit down and expect, oh, I'm gonna get all this stuff because I'm this person. You're not. Nobody knows who you are. Like, sure, here we know you because we train with you, but out there, if you're gonna just sit here, come in once a week, or not come in at all, and then come for a seminar, for example, and wrestle, everybody out there is gonna be like, well, who's this guy? Like, I don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing. That's also the thing. Like, with sometimes you just gotta, be mellow. Just ride the waves out. Just when you're here, you learn. You learn. Like, I've seen people improve. I've seen people massively improve. Like when they first started. Like, even though I won't. When I first started, I was still a fan. I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I saw a move in WWE 2K17, and I want to try it out because it looks easy. It's not easy. Like, none of this stuff we do is easy. It's not at all. Like, I remember I used to have a big mouth. Like, I would always Joe entrusted me to be a manager, but then I kind of took it a step too far. Like, I pushed the boundary. Like, I guess me being too excited, and like me being I could admit to myself at one point I wasn't humble. Like, I was like, I would talk on social media. I would, do all this stuff, and then I come into training, and guess what? A heat drill all day, or me doing drills all day, me getting snapmared until I couldn't get up anymore and blown up. And it wasn't like they were punishing me like, oh, they were just showing me, hey, listen, you're here, you represent our school. You can't be like this on social media, because if people out there, if other schools are watching, they're like, oh, well, this is what they do here. Why should people go here? So then I needed that humbling process, and that happened. And that's happened to a lot of people. Some people leave because they can't take. Other people have stayed. Other people have stayed. Like, it's all, I've learned a lot being here. Like literally stuff here I bring to my life outside of wrestling. About, being humble, paying your dues. I do that at work. I'm always humble at work. Like, I ask my boss, hey, what do you need? Or, hey, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm not the person at work that's walking around with that Conor McGregor swag. I own the place and I run the place. Yeah, I'm not doing that, because first, that makes me look weird. I'll make people scream. Second of all, it's again, you got to be humble in life, and that's pretty much the bottom point of what you got to do.
I love it. I mean, I think the best line we've had in this entire interview from you, I mean, you've talked a lot, but you said wrestling owes nothing to you. You owe it all to wrestling.
Yeah.
That's a bottom line. I think that we really hit the nail on that. So solid job there. Last question I have for you. You can take your time answering this.
Okay.
For the aspiring wrestlers,
Okay.
right, or the ones that they haven't broken out of their shell. You've began to breaking out of your shell, you have your character, you've gotten over as a heel, you've gotten over as a face. But for the ones that don't really have a character yet, what are some tips you can give them so they can finally develop who they're going to be in the ring?
Honestly, it's just be yourself. Like, don't try to act like somebody else. Like as I said before, I tried to act like this serious wrestler, like, because I wanted to be serious. I wanted to be, because I would watch people like Baron Corbin. Like, I watch how he's running down people. He's being all serious. I'd watch serious wrestlers doing things, and I was like, hey, I could be that guy. Wasn't for me, because you could clearly tell I was just acting. Like, I was acting like someone I wasn't. So as soon as this stuff with the Cookie Pimp came out, I was just being myself, and it's natural. So, like, honestly, like, for people that haven't, like, found their character, it comes with time. Like, I know sometimes you don't want to break out of your shell because you think, oh, I'm kind of this type of way, and I don't want people to know. Just be yourself. Honestly, be yourself to 11. Nobody's judging you. That's the thing. Wrestling, nobody judges you. Be yourself. Like, if you're weird, be weird. You see what I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's me being weird.
There's some weird things out there. There was a guy who ate worms, the boogeyman. Like,
but that's the thing. Like, he was just having fun with it, and it's also having fun. Like, I feel like he had fun.
oh yeah,
I have fun putting people's hands on my stomach. I have fun, throwing cookies at people because it's just fun. It's me being myself with the crowd. Like, just be yourself. Like, that's what real life too, in general. Always be yourself. Don't let people out there change you because they want to see that person. Like if, let's say, for example, the cool kids, and they're like, oh, you can't be with us because you got to be cool like us. Well, screw them. Let them be their own thing. I was my own thing in high school. I was bullied in high school. Throughout whole high school, I was bullied. Like, I was that weird kid. I was that guy, that kid that did, performing arts. I was weird. A lot of people didn't like. They were like girls that didn't like me, like girls and guys. They didn't like. They was like, oh, this weird kid. And some of those people are miserable now. Like, I've seen them. Some of those people are miserable now. Because I wasn't gonna be that guy. I was gonna be myself. I wasn't gonna change for anybody. Actually, like, that's life. Like, even people in relationships. When I was in one of my relationships, and the person didn't like who I was because I was this person. I was never took things serious. And it was like, well, I'm not gonna change. Now I met someone that is yeah, she's like the female version of myself.
mm-hmm.
Like, and that's I thought I was bad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
God,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you're seeing this, Lynn, I love you. It's okay, but like, I found someone that's just like me, and it's like she doesn't care if I'm myself. She condones it. Like, you always got to be yourself. My parents have taught me this too. Hey, listen, there's gonna be a world that you come into that, everybody's gonna look at you different. Like, because you're not gonna be this generic type of person following. You're not gonna be a drone in the hive mind. You're gonna be yourself. My parents always told me that. Be yourself. Don't try to copy anybody else. You're your own copy. Like, nobody could copy the Cookie Pimp. If they do, then I could say I was the first one ever. Like, just be yourself. That's why I tell you, people out there watching, don't let anybody bully you. Like, don't let anybody put you down because you want to be yourself. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're, gay, bi, whatever. Be you. Always be you. Don't hear if anybody has a problem with that, then that's their problem. That sounds like a personal problem that they should take care of. Like, that sounds like something that they should go sleep at night with, like, a picture of Wolverine in their arms, like, crying. Like, like, just always be yourself. Yeah, that picture he's holding, like, and I see Cyclops. It's like Jean or like, that's something that, like, if they keep having their names in your mouth, then that means you're doing something right. Because I have the same experience. I have people still talking about me to this day because they don't like me. And I'm like, well, like, yeah, that sounds like a personal problem that you need to take care of.
And you're just out here living your best life.
Exactly. And that's what you have to do. You just got to live your best life and just, again, bottom line, have fun. When you're looking for a character and you're not having, like, you're aspiring, have fun, pay your dues, and just be humble. Bust your ass. And that's pretty much it. That's all I can say.
Couple rapid fire questions before we close this out.
Okay.
Favorite wrestlers all time?
Favorite wrestler of all time? Like,
wrestlers, not just one. There's, usually it's hard to name one.
Piper, Mr. Perfect, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. I'm an old school person. Like,
okay.
Guys, and I like the new school people. Like I say, Paul London's one of my favorite wrestlers. Colt Cabana, Joey Ryan, all these guys that are like, I new school and old school for me. Like I have my favorites here and there because I take those favorites and I write them down like, hey, this is cool. Like this part of his personality was great. What if I try this? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, then I keep it. Like if they just, that's as an aspiring wrestler as well. Is look at your favorites, take pieces. Don't try to copy them because then people will be like, oh, you're trying to be Stone Cold, or oh, you're trying to be Bret Hart. Just bits and pieces. Boom.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm interested to see like what did you pick out from these guys that you incorporate now. That'd be interesting. All right, how about this? Favorite feuds all time.
Bret versus Owen. The brother versus brother rivalry was great.
What about Taker Kane?
I like that as well.
Okay.
Because that's the things I watched. Like we have tapes and stuff. Like we watched that. Just hearing stories about this, Bruno Sammartino and Larry Zbyszko. Like when there's the protege and the teacher, and then the protege betrayed the teacher. Like my grandfather would tell those stories, and I'd be like, wow, like this sounded like real stuff. Piper and Goldust, just because that was great. And like Bret and Shawn Michaels, like those are like my feuds that I loved. Yeah.
So those are the feuds that sold you on wrestling.
Yeah. It sounds weird, but
and the very moment that you knew that you wanted to be a wrestler, give me that moment.
Very first moment I knew that I wanted to be a wrestler, I was watching as a kid. I believe I was watching John Cena versus Kurt Angle. I don't remember what it was. I know it was a pay-per-view or something. And I was
Must have been like early Cena.
Yeah, early Cena.
Like 2002.
Actually, I think this was when John Cena first debuted.
Okay.
Against Kurt Angle.
Ruthless Aggression.
Yep. And as soon as I heard Ruthless Aggression, and he slapped Kurt Angle, I was like, man, I wish I could do that one day, because like I was that type of person that hated the heels. Like as a kid, I was like, Kurt Angle's like, he sucks. Even like when I was still a fan and I saw The Miz, I was like, my God.
Oh, Miz is great.
And he's great.
Oh, he's
like,
so great.
Now being working, and it's like he's doing his job to a T. Like he's perfect. But as a fan, I was like, I want to beat this guy up. I don't like him. I hate him. And like, just now being like a wrestler, I'm like, man, that's who I want to be, and that's what I was trying to like doing as a heel. Like I was that guy. People hated me, and I was like, this is the life. And that's, as soon as I saw that on TV, I was like, yep, I want to be a wrestler.
That's
and
awesome.
Between that and seeing Mr. Perfect selling, he got chopped in the corner. He did a flip out of the corner, and I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. And then, Lord and behold, I've done it already. I've flipped out of the corner after a chop.
That's so awesome. Well, listen, this has been a great interview. Before we wrap up, give you a last chance to say anything that you wanted to include on this. Otherwise, we can just, call it.
Honestly, the grass isn't greener on the other side. Always train. If you want proper training, like, you could come to Warriors. Come down. Honestly, this is like one of the best decisions I ever made. That, always be yourself. Don't let anybody change you. Always be yourself. And just have fun. Have fun with life. Have fun with wrestling. And, just, again, that's all I can say really, is just have fun. Have fun with life,
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Thank you for having me here. Awesome, as always.
TK Luther, not the fifth. TK Luther, the notorious cookie pimp TK Luther.
Exactly.
All right, you've been awesome, Sam. Thank you again. I'm sure we'll do this again sometime. This is Chris Scott. December 1st is the 11th anniversary show for Warriors of Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching and listening to Dinger for 3. Social media. Where can they find you on social media, by the way?
Instagram at t.k.luther with an O _V.
Okay.
On Twitter, it's the same exact thing.
Okay.
On Facebook, you just type in TK Luther. It's just, I gotta change the V, because I'm not the fifth anymore. But you could literally just type in TK and it like t.k and it just pops up.
Gotcha. All right, if you want to hear more from him, if you like the character, want to learn more about the character, follow those handles. Thank you guys again for watching and listening. We'll see you guys December 1st.